Hey guys, it's SailorturntGamer, and we are back again with another one of our patch reviews. We're going to give our impressions of the upcoming patch that will be released today at 10 p.m. If you guys are checking this patch out and you are curious about my thoughts, as always, you can tune in here to get the word right from the horse's mouth. And without further ado, we're just going to hop into these patch notes for version 0.5.15. Alright, so this patch note, we will be getting overhauls for the chat system, improved new player tutorial, and they'll be making it easier to preview and buy emotes, rework the sword special attack, and keep the quality of life going up, up, up. So that's a nice little summary of what we're going to expect. I am expecting with this to have more changes in the future for the rest of the weapons. Now, I called this weeks ago when the repeaters got released. If you guys didn't get a chance to check out my overall impressions of the repeaters, I love them. Short story. Also, we'll put something in the card so you guys can check that out for the video that we released after we streamed for about 13 hours, and I gave my overall impressions of the weapon. Still use it to this day. It's a lovely weapon. It's my favorite weapon in the game. I knew it was gonna be, and it still is. But when that weapon got released, I called it. I was like, hey, this weapon's gonna get released. And with the release of that weapon, the creativity that the developers must have had to come up with to create that weapon and make sure that it was a reasonable weapon to utilize during the hunts, I know it must have sparked change for the rest of the weapons. And we've seen that over the past few patches. We've gotten changes to the war chains. We've gotten changes to the war pike. And now we are on the sword. I don't believe we got any serious hammer changes yet. I think we did, but we're definitely going to get some major hammer changes in the future. We're going to get some major axe changes in the future. I don't think that they're done by any stretch. I said by the end of the year, they would touch every single weapon in the game and give it a little bit of a change. There's still time for that because we still have more weeks until 2019. And yeah, I'm just happy that they're constantly improving the game. So yeah, without any other hesitation, let's just scroll down into the new to Dauntless section. Let's get our overview and see what's popping. All right, so new to Dauntless, the sword special move Overdrive has been reworked. Overdrive will now fire slicers from each weapon sling, dealing AOE damage to behemoths. While in Overdrive, reactivating your special will cause you to dash forward a great distance. This will incur a short cooldown, but can be used several times during each Overdrive. Oh, this is already sounding fire. All right, so you get fire slices. You get an AoE dash. Oh, man, this is sounding fire. All right, Overdrive can also be activated at full meter and will no longer fire a projectile or perform a swing upon activation. Overdrive no longer grants a 30% damage increase to basic swings. The damage increase has been replaced by the slicer damage, improving the damage overall. Nice. So you get a slicer damage. All slicers will trigger the +6 weighted cells interrupt effect. So now you get an interrupt on your stuff. You get a dash and you get slicers. This is awesome. All right, so what else do we get? We got all slicers will trigger the +6 weighted strike. Of course, we just went through that. Primary attacks now generate slightly less special meter, while secondary attacks generate significantly more. So basically what that's saying is they toned down getting your special meter up using light attacks because they want you to commit. And they're giving you more meter when you use your secondary attack, aka your heavy attack. The more heavy attacks you do, the faster you can get your meter up, the more slices you can put out, and you can keep that weighted sales +6. +6. That means you can interrupt. That's awesome. That means if anything runs at you and you pop your special, boom, down. I like it. Oh, this is awesome. And then not even, I think we still got more. Okay, so what else do we have? We have sword attacks. Individual damage has been rebalanced to better reflect the time and or stamina costs. And then they're getting specific because next we have an exotic weapon buff. All right, so the Hunger special move, Feast, has been reworked. Feast also benefits from overdrive slices and dash reactivations. While in Feast, players will constantly lose health, but will significantly gain lifesteal when attacking. While in Feast, players will deal 20% more damage with all attacks. Feast adds invulnerability to Overdrive's dash. Feast will no longer deal damage to the player when the player attacks and can no longer be reactivated to perform the hand grab attack. The Hunger no longer gains increased damage at its meter fills, The damage taken from feast will no longer cancel predator cell effects. So basically what we got here is we got an overall buff to the sword class. We got a rework of the special move, which is just amazing because now you got a little bit of AoE damage. You got some interrupt. Oh my god, so nice. You got damage increase, and then that just been kicked into overdrive, pun intended, with the Hunger's special move Feast. Feast is now been buffed. The overall weapon, and for you, those of you that are watching me and you do not know about the Hunger, I do not have it yet, unfortunately. Still on the grind. I'm still in a hunt. You know how it is. But the Hunger is an exotic sword, so we have a double buff for the Hunger and an overall buff for the sword users. Any sword users out there, you guys are going to be lucky. You guys are going to be excited because major changes are coming, and I cannot wait. All right, so with that, let's check out the rest of these patch notes. We should be on to the portion about the chat buffs, so that's going to be awesome. All right, so they got multiple chat improvements. Chat can now be accessed via the radio menu, which is awesome, and that's better for people like myself because I use a gamepad. Yes, I use a gamepad to play Dauntless. That's the way I prefer to play, and I enjoy it that way. So now that you can access chat using the radio menu, it's just a nice little improvement. Granted, of course, I'm still going to use my keyboard for chat when necessary. But it's nice to be able to access chat using the radio menu. So that's a very, very lovely change. I love it. They added timestamps in the chat history to conversations. Players can now navigate the chat log with the gamepad. Awesome. Keyboard and mouse. All right. Change the default font to much more readable one. Awesome. Players will now be able to click a friend's name, and when they come online, giving the option to whisper them, invite them to a party, or remove them as a friend. Awesome. Now, this is something that wasn't in the game prior, and knowing that this is going to be in the game is just a really, really nice quality of life change. Besides that, with games in 2018, it's basically a mandatory thing when you have a chat box. You have to be able to click on people's names to be able to do simple things like whisper and send them invites and party requests, maybe friend requests, remove them from friends. It's like those are basic things in a game, and it is fantastic to see that they're putting that in the game now. Because anybody that's coming to the game in 2019, they'll be able to check that out, and it's going to be amazing. All right, so let's check out the rest of the changes. They got emotes and arrival animations can now be purchased directly from the emote and hunt arrival screen. Cool. Players will also see a short animation with successfully purchasing an item in the game. Probably just like a little pop-up thing like, blue, you just purchased your emote. So that's it's going to be cool, right? You get to know you got it, and hey, surprise. That's cool. So we have something afoot in Maelstrom. Certain islands have been moved and behemoths are showing up outside of their regular stomping grounds. Ooh, all right. Mixing it up a little bit. Scroll down a little bit more. They introduced a new, more streamlined tutorial flow for new users, so that it's awesome. Switched up the tutorial, making it more efficient, easier to hop into the tutorial, enjoy the tutorial, and then move on to Ramsgate for your normal style gameplay while you're transitioning into endgame. It's fantastic to see that they're making a change to that, because with that new change, players are going to be able to hop in, not only create their Slayer, go through the tutorial, but they're going to have more control in the chat as well to be able to conversate with Slayers and be able to form parties to group up and slay these behemoths. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. They introduced a new message of the day, a UI to match the login and main menu. This is an ongoing change. Please let us know if you see any bugs. All right, it's going to be awesome. All right, so we got a series of quality of life changes. You guys know how we do. You guys know how they do. Quality of life changes every single week. Love them. Look forward to them, because quality of life here in Phoenix Labs, here in Dauntless, that means bug fixes. So let's check out these bug fixes. I'm super excited to check them out. So they reduced the area of effect size on Rockfall Scar's front flip. They fixed the bug where audio could remain muffled even after breaking Rizikiri's prism. They fixed the bug that would cause Strike to get stuck in certain areas. They fixed the bug that prevented one of the heroic Rockfall Scar's attacks from properly inflicting shell shock. They fixed it in extremely Uki bug, just to fix Uki bug. They fixed the bug that would cause citizens of Ramsgate to spawn faces on top of their heads. Hilarious. Frostwall Crown will no longer inherit dye colors from previously selected helm transmog and will appear with normal colors in world when dyes are left as default colors. That's a nice bug to see that they fixed. Visual bugs are always awesome. There's not a lot of bugs this week, so that's good. They're working hard, man. They're working hard, guys. They fixed a bug that where the Stormclaw, Chainblades, Storm Teeth, that particular weapon, the backflow special will deal frost aether damage instead of shock. So basically, guys, this was a change from last week's patch, 0.5.14. You guys get a chance to check that out. You guys can check that out on the channel as well. We do patch reviews every single week, never miss them. If we do miss them, we're going to go back and cover them, because that is important for you guys to know what's going on in the game. But if you guys didn't get to see last week's patch notes, they actually buffed the chain blades. So that's awesome. And a part of that buff was an explosion, if I'm not mistaken. It was an explosion that you can access using your backflip. So it's awesome. They fixed an issue where player movement could be blocked by the repeaters, specifically the captain's or admiral's grip pickup. And then Slayers can now collect break part orbs by running over them. No more holding E. Slayers will still receive all break parts at the end of the hunt, even if they don't pick up the orbs. So it's just an awesome little change. It's like, you know, you're in the middle of the fight, you're dodging, you're dipping, you're dodging, and you got to press E to pick up these orbs in the middle of the fight. Just one less thing to worry about. That's an extremely nice quality of life change. And of course, again, they let us know, if you guys don't know, they made a change in a previous patch before to where you used to have to pick up every single orb, when the orbs are basically your materials that you would get from breaking parts off the behemoth. You used to have to pick every single last one of them up in order to collect your material. Boohoo, that sucks. Because you got to fight the guy, you got to worry about dodging, and it's just a lot. But now, and then they made a change to where at the end of every single hunt, you just get them. I mean, if you break them, you got them. So it's very, very easy. That's still applicable to the situation. All they're saying is that now, if you want in the middle of the hunt, instead of pressing E, you're still going to get them at the end. But if you really want to, you can just run over them. That's a nice quality of life change. They also made it easier for Slayers to target and break the Nasher's arms. The very last bug fix for the week is that they fixed the bug where weighted strikes and barbed cells perfect dodge bonus were not applied correctly. And that is fantastic to see, because with the sword special rework overdrive, that causes plus 6 weighted strikes. So I'm not sure if that would have been bugged out due to that, but just to know, even if you're not using the sword, you are still gonna be in a position to make sure that your cells are not going to be bugged. So that is a great. This patch looks like it is another juicy patch. And those of you that may be finding my channel for the first time, if you guys haven't got an opportunity to play Dauntless, in the description below, we always put all of Dauntless's primary sources of information, their YouTube, their Twitter account, as well as playdauntless.com. You guys can hop over to playdauntless.com and try out the game. It's a free to play game. Just download it, try out the tutorial. If you try it out today, they just buffed the tutorial and changed that up to make it more efficient for you to hop in. So not only can you create your own Slayer, you can hop into the tutorial, try it out, and if you like it, you're right there at the beginning of the game, and you can hop in and you can try out a second hunt. And with the new buffs and the new changes to the chat menu, find you a friendly Slayer, group up, and go chop some heads off, man. Go get some parts and go craft it up. It's a fun, addictive game. Tried and true. The game is improving every single week. If you don't believe me, check out the video history. We do patch note reviews every single week, so there is a lot of improvements in the game. Game's in a really good place, and it's only going up from here. I appreciate you guys for checking us out. We do stream on twitch.tv/SailorturntGamer. Be sure to hop over there if you want to catch us live, or you can check out any one of our previous broadcasts as well. And it's just a pleasure, guys. Hopefully you guys can see me in our next video. If you guys like any of what we do here, we're constantly trying to grow and improve. But if you enjoy the content, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I know people say it all the time, but it really goes a long way. Subscribe to your boy, and welcome to the fleet if you do. I am SailorturntGamer. You can catch this sailor out in the open ocean. It's been a pleasure. We're throwing both up.